This time we have the Eulogy by Harry Natron.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Joseph Theophilus Carter was born in Belle Plaine, St. Andrew on September the 23rd, 1942. To Millicent Carter, he was her only child. He was also born deaf and dumb, hence the nickname Dummy. So if you hear me referring to him as Dummy, it is not an insult to him, but a name used by most of his friends and work colleagues. Joseph had one child, his daughter Joanne, who was the love of his life, and he was a But if his spirit didn't take to you, he would have nothing to do with you. He was also very suspicious of people and was very cautious as to who he would trust with his personal business or possessions, something he might have learned from previous experiences. He was one of the first group of people to be sent to the deaf and dumb school in Trinidad by the welfare department back in 1950. There they learned different skills as well as how to integrate successfully into society. Out of this group, he formed a lifelong friendship with Alvis Callender, Emerson Jones, and Larry Butler. Even though two of them later migrated, Alvis to Canada and Emerson to America, that bond remained very strong until Larry died in 2020 and Emerson in 2022. When Alvis last visited a couple of years ago, he spent a lot of time with Joseph. Dummy also loved his belly, and he loved to cook and eat, as well as drinking his favorite Mike's beer. And he never missed an opportunity to play the daily lotto. Every Saturday, he would have his friend David and sometimes others over to his house, where he would cook and entertain them. This was one of the things he missed most when he was in hospital. Despite the fact that he was dumb, no one could hold you in a conversation longer than Dummy. When he visited my workplace, I would have to stop working while he told me the latest things going on in his neighborhood or the crime situation in the country. The obvious reason is that I would have to look at him to understand what he was saying. So I would be hoping that someone else would come by so he would start talking to them and I could get back to work. He was a hard and dedicated worker. His first job as a young man was as a cane cutter. Then he went on to construction work using a jackhammer. He would tell how he worked on the Royal Bank building and the Treasury building. He also had a stint at the QEH and finally at the Holiday Inn, now Grand Barbados, where he worked until he retired. after 40 years of service, receiving many awards during his time there. He loved to watch kung fu movies and wrestling. In the days of DVDs, forward to so he could eat his favorite meat, ham. To John, I empathize with you and your loss and pray that you will trust in God for strength to carry you through this time of grief. You might not have had a voice to speak or hearing to hear, but he left a legacy of hard work, discipline, and loyalty to those he loved and those he worked for. He has also proved that in this life, no matter your circumstances or how difficult things seem to be, and no matter how many obstacles come your way in life, you can still overcome them. And we all could do well to emulate these attributes that Dami possessed.
Amen. Thank you very much, Harry, for that concise review of the life of Joseph. I can't say know him and knowing him like people, seen him, been around the place, but the two people I connect with is the two names that were mentioned, Emerson Jones, who is family connected, and Larry Butler, who in his latter days used to live very close to me and would come by me, and even wanted one time where I lived, there was a downstairs that wanted fixing, if I could fix it up for him to live there before he moved back with his sister. So we give thanks for this life that has been expressed in the words here today. We sing the hymn.